Every voice, let every voice sing till at the heaven ring with the heart.
My name is Sydney Potter. I went to George Mason University and I graduated in May 2012.
My name is Bishop William Monroe Dawson. I am a 2002 graduate of Virginia Union Samuel D. Proctor School of Theology.
My name is Kiana Hawkins. I graduated from ODU class 2012. I'm currently a Liberty graduate student. I graduate May 2014.
My name is Constance E. Jenkins, and I graduated from Virginia Commonwealth University in 1979.
And I am Iris Jenkins, and I graduated from Lincoln University in Pennsylvania.
Okay, I am Christina Davis. I first attended Florida A&M as an undergraduate. I got a bachelor's in psychology and a minor in chemistry, and then I got a master's in applied social science. And I am currently enrolled at the University of Georgia in the PhD program in history. And at Savannah State now, I am a full-time instructor.
Okay, my name is Antonio Mundy. I am a graduate of Norfolk State University, and I graduated from Norfolk State in 2002 with my bachelor's and 2005 with my master's.
Rise high as the listening skies, let it resound out as the road.
I decided to attend George Mason University because I felt like with the diversity I would be more equipped to deal with the real world experiences.
It was between ODU and BCU, but I actually toured both of them, and I felt just connected to ODU and just the diversity. When I was walking around, I remember the first day I went and I heard like 3 different languages, and I was just like, you wouldn't get that anywhere else. You know how you go visit somewhere and you're like, I could stay here.
You do have to deal with other people, like I said, from different backgrounds. You know, when you go to a college, not just, predominantly white school or predominantly black school.
There were segregated institutions. The funding for the schools were very different. So even though black people pay taxes and, at least in theory would get the same amounts of fundings for their school, they absolutely did not. And so the quality of black education as compared to the quality of education at white schools was very different. I think that that's carried over in some sense even today for HBCUs as an example. Integration was a good thing in that it provided opportunities for African Americans to study, more equipped labs in schools that were not dilapidated, just with, newer types of pedagogy and resources that just weren't available with the separate school systems.
Integration was still going on, and I think that there were a number of people who felt that the predominantly white schools could offer you more.
HBCUs in general don't have the resources that a predominantly white college would have, but you can possibly get the same education that you would get. It's just that not just companies, but people look down their noses at HBCUs as, who do you have that graduated from there? But if you, just look at the history of all HBCUs, of, the graduates that's come out of, those schools.
HBCUs make significant contributions with every graduating class, not only to our economy, but to the world in which we live in. And so it's not a question of relevance of their presence, but it's a question of, will the world begin to give credit to the significant contributions that graduates of HBCUs have made to the world for which we know today?
Some HBCUs tend to lag with the advancement of technology, resources, and I think that it holds the students back. But if they keep up with the times, I think that they're relevant.
HBCUs are still, supremely important in terms of what they can do for instilling this sense of confidence, instilling this sense of acceptance of who you are, as a person, as an African American, if you are an African American, and even as white students. I think that the information that they can get and just the interaction in a experience of being a minority, I think, is good for white students also, because it just allows for a different perspective. I hope that over time, HBCUs can get more support.
Because I do feel like I miss out. I feel like my friends who attend HBCUs, I feel like when I see them, they have a more sense of community versus going to ODU. I know people, but there's not that sense of community, if that makes sense.
I do not feel connected to the history of my institution. We don't really talk about the history. I love George Mason University, but it's not because of the history of the school. I just love it for what it provided me in my experiences at the school.
I feel connected to any black, predominantly black school because I went, and they made it very clear, this is a world in itself. And when you get out, the world isn't going to be like it is here.
I don't want to lose our history. I don't want to tell them not to go to a predominantly white school or to just look at a historically black school, but look at what curriculum is best for you and what's best for your personality.